Hey, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be doing my first monthly sketchbook tour. If you haven't watched my 2025 art goals video, I talked about wanting to start a monthly one color sketchbook so I can practice sketching often without feeling super intimidated or overwhelmed to do so. If you want more details on that, go ahead and check that video out after this one, of course. I started in February because January was insane. To be honest, February was insane too, but I did it. Now I'm committed to continue for the rest of the months up until like maybe October. I don't know, we'll see. I for sure want to go down the rainbow, so March will be orange. And at the time of this recording, I haven't started because I've been moving, so hopefully by the time this video goes up, I have already gotten somewhere with that. But anyway, this is my red sketchbook, and these are all the supplies I used in here. I also wanted to decorate my cover with mostly red stickers to stay on theme, so before we get started, here are all the sticker artists. Now let's get into it. So I started it on February 5th and completed it on the 25th. So I completed this 64-page sketchbook in 20 days. However, I didn't draw in it every day. There were days I felt motivated and spent hours in it, and other days where I didn't feel like drawing, but eventually I'd have to make up for it to finish. And of course, I started the first page with a self-portrait. If you've ever watched my other sketchbook tour videos, you know that I do this for every single sketchbook, and I think it's just a cool thing to do, and it helps with getting started rather than trying to figure out how to start. So I will continue doing this forever unless I change my mind one day. Anyway, I did use some correction tape under my eyes because I put some marker on there and it made my eyes look really small, so it just looked off. Also, I have this beauty mark on my face. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I put it on the wrong side because the reference pic I used was flipped, so it should be on the other side, but that's okay, I still love it. I have no idea why I went so crazy with the first page. I guess I was just like, okay, red sketchbook, time to use every single red supply I own. Not exaggerating, by the way. I'm pretty sure I used everything you saw earlier, and I didn't do that again because that was just insane of me. This second page is a little more illustrative. Again, it was February and I was thinking of self-love and self-care, so this is what I came up with. To be honest, I wish I would have left it at just the line work because it looked so much better, but I guess I was still eager to use a lot more of my supplies. This is a still life of my little trinket shelf that was decorated for February. You might have seen it in my last video. I drew my little Valentine's card, my fake tulips, my cupies, and some of my Valentine and pink and red sunny angels. I really love how it came out. I think it looks really cool. I really love this little bunny so much. I think I want to make it into a sticker at some point, so maybe you'll see how it develops. He's so sad, but aren't we all sometimes? And this is just some gradient and values practice. I got inspired by a picture I saw on Pinterest and made it my own. A lot of my drawings in here have some Pinterest inspo, so maybe I'll make a board with all the references if you're interested. Now this is a little frog sketch. He's just chilling on a lily pad, or maybe he's jumping because there's no lily pad directly under him. At the time I didn't really like the sketch, but now I think it looks fine. I love his little feet and I gave him a heart on his butt. And this is a portrait I found on Pinterest and I really liked it because the shadows are really dark and I think it's cool. However, smoking is not cool, so don't do it. Or else. Here's a Venus flytrap. I've never drawn a Venus flytrap in my life, but I thought it looked really interesting to draw and it came out really cool. They're so weird though because like what do you mean these plants are carnivorous? Anyway, I also added these stars because it reminded me of the same shapes in the plant. This spread came out pretty cool. I had no idea what to draw this day, and I just went on Pinterest and found some random objects and things, like some coral. Coral is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, what do you mean it's an animal that kind of looks like a plant that is also carnivorous and filters the ocean? Huh? I also drew some clovers and a little snail. I didn't like how it came out, so I tried covering it with marker, but the spirals peeked through, and I think it looks okay. I also tried drawing my own thing, so I came up with a little candy candied apple guy, but I'm not sure if I love him. I also drew a goldfish and a twirly-whirly little ribbon. I decided to draw a penguin and a polar bear because my fiance and I went down a YouTube video rabbit hole and we saw a video of a penguin being given a ride on a boat to catch up with his buddies, and I got some inspo. And of course I drew a polar bear because when you go down the rabbit hole of Arctic animals, of course a polar bear is going to show up. The whole time I thought, okay, I know they're super dangerous and super vicious, but it's literally just a cuddly bear. I know if I went there, it wouldn't attack me because it would just feel my good aura and we'd be really good friends. There's no way he's not just a cute little guy. This spread looks kind of cool. I wasn't really feeling that great that day, and I just grabbed my watercolor brush and just started making a mess with it and decided to draw myself because I felt really ugly. My hair was really flat and oily, and I just decided to embrace it. I also didn't have an initial sketch. I just went in with a marker, and I think I only spent about like 10 minutes on this spread, so I really love how it turned out. Here's another Pinterest find. I think this style is so cool. I love all the harshness of the paint marker, and I really love this one a lot. It's probably one of my top 3 faves in here. And this is a cute little dog going grocery shopping. I mean, it was supposed to be a dog, but because I made the eyes a little further apart, it kind of looks like a koala. I don't know, what do you think? Maybe I'm overanalyzing it. But anyway, he's just grocery shopping. I think I want to eventually turn this idea into a sticker sheet. I think that would be super cute. Some more random Pinterest objects while still making it my own. I think I only used a brush marker for this one and then used water to paint with a marker. I really love how this tulip came out, and I also like this little tiger I put on the vase. It came out super cool. And then I went to go see Faye Webster and got inspired to draw her, and it kind of looks like her. But anyway, she sounds amazing live, but that was probably the worst concert I've ever been to because there were so many seemingly underage people there who were being so annoying and rude. They were talking and playing Heads Up during the opener, and people just kept fainting because people kept pushing to the front and the concert kept getting interrupted. It was bizarre. And another Pinterest find. I thought this was really cool and maybe it could help me practice some type of anatomy. Obviously, it doesn't look the greatest. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but for what it is, I really like it. So I drew these little monkey lovers for Valentine's Day. If you watched my last video, you saw the sticker sheets I made. But they blew up on Instagram and I'm really proud of them. And I think I want to continue with making little monkey illustrations. I think they're just a part of me now, so I had the idea of a little monkey summer themed sticker sheet. And for this spread, I didn't really know what to draw, so I figured I can draw something semi-symmetrical to fill both pages, and a butterfly seemed like the easiest thing to draw. I love how playful this one feels. I used my watercolor palette and my Neocolors for this one. Here's a little red snapper I saw on Pinterest. I love the texture these bubbles left behind. I think it looks kind of creepy, but it's on theme. And then some more original drawings. I used my Tombow brush pens to outline the shell and then used watercolor to fill it in, and I love how the colors bled. Here we have some pansies, a little sheep, and this cool garden rabbit. Once again, if you've watched my 2025 art goals video, I also talked about how I wanted to start a tattoo apprenticeship at some point this year or just get more into tattooing, and this is my go at like a neo-traditional style. I saw these pics on Pinterest and basically I tried recreating it by simplifying the shapes, and I think they came out pretty cool. I'm not in love with them or anything. Obviously, when I give this practice a real try, I'm going to take my time with it, but it's not bad for my first try given it's not a style I usually practice or even go for. So my right hand is my dominant hand, and this spread is for the most part completely left-handed. So for the left page, I used my Kohl Erase pencil to put down an initial sketch and then used an Arttx acrylic marker with my left hand to go over it, and I love how wobbly it came out. But the right side is completely left-handed, and I didn't even sketch anything. I just went right in with a marker, and I don't like how it looks at all. I think it's probably the ugliest sketch in here, so I wrote left hand practice to make myself feel better about it. For some reason, there's a lot of ribbons in here, and I think it's because there's ribbons everywhere right now, and ribbons are so fun to draw because it moves the wrist and also loosens you up and helps you get some movement on the paper. Also, this little jello thing from Pinterest, it's so lopsided, but it's okay, it's a sketch. I also drew a bear with a party hat. Maybe I can turn it into a full illustration, or maybe a mini story or comic or something. Here's a simple coffee mug, a zucchini. It's supposed to be a zucchini, but it kind of looks like a banana a little bit, and some cherries. And this face unintentionally came out looking like that angry looking villain in the Powerpuff Girls. I forgot her name, but at the time I didn't notice, and now it's all I see. At this point, I didn't feel like drawing, so I just used my Holbein acrylic gouache to randomly lay down some color on the page, and then used my Tombow brush pens to doodle random objects like some taiyaki, a lighter, some crayons, a little candle, an alarm clock, and a comb, and some random doodles to fill in the spread. For this spread, I kind of had the same thought process, just draw something, anything. So I drew some random objects and thought it would be cool to kind of make it look like an I Spy book. I don't know if you're familiar with those books, but I used to love them as a kid. Some of them were weirdly eerie to me for some reason, but they were so cool. Another little Pinterest find. It's a bunny. I just made it my own. And again, with the ribbons. And a little original doodle, not really feeling like drawing, so I used my Neocolor crayons, and I love how playful it feels, almost like a child drew it. I think both sketches together look pretty cute. I love this drawing so much. It's probably one of my top 3 faves in here. It came out so cute. It's inspired by a little clay figurine I saw on Pinterest, and I made it my own. She looks like she'd be a fun children's book character, and I love all the textures. Another day where I didn't feel like drawing, we have a lamp, a gecko, maybe his tail fell off because gecko's tails do that, and another portrait I found on Pinterest. I wanted to work on expressions, and it kind of looks like she has no teeth, but I gave myself a time frame, so I didn't work on this for too long. I don't remember exactly how long, maybe like 10 or 15 minutes, so I'll give myself grace. This is most likely that same day. Motivation at this point is non-existent, so I drew some little mischievous guys. I drew some flowers because it was February, and I used my watercolor palette down to the brim at this point, and this looks pink, but it's a marker that's red, and I guess it turned pink with water, but I promise it's red. So initially this was just a seal and the background was blank, and I should have kept it that way because I think the background just looks too messy, but he's so cute. I just want to give him a little kiss and a little hug. And this is a moody little flower, I guess. Not much to say about it. I'm so proud of this one. It's just a little caterpillar hanging out. She has her legs crossed, just having a grand old time after eating some leaves. I think I was channeling some spring energy because I love the spring, and by the time this video goes out, it'll basically be spring, so I'm very excited. And here I tried drawing some grapes, but it doesn't look too great. It kind of looks like those fake glass grapes people put on their coffee tables. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Yeah, so I tried to redeem myself and I think it looks a little better. And again, channeling spring, I have some rain boots, some flowers, some vegetables, a little cat, a little dog with his flower on his head, a monchichi, and a watercolor brush that I didn't use for this page, but I've been using for a lot of my other pages. I feel like it's so obvious when I lose motivation to draw, and this is another example. And again, I know it looks pink, but I promise I used a red marker and went over it with water. In fact, this whole spread is just Tombow brush pens. Again, still not feeling it, so I drew myself in a more cartoonish style in my oversized hoodie, some sweatpants and socks. Maybe I was feeling overwhelmed, so I wanted to make myself a little cozy. I also kind of think this is giving a little Bob's Burgers, maybe. And here we have a little flower silhouette, nothing too special, just trying to fill in the page. I'm pretty sure I worked on this that same day as well. I really don't like how this looks. It just doesn't feel like me at all, so I drew a little flower to make myself feel better about it. Now this is a new day, the last day of this sketchbook. I love this so much. It's another Pinterest find, but I simplified it and I was just focusing on the proportions and shapes, and I absolutely love it. Again, another proportions and shapes practice. I really love how this one came out. I love all the textures and shapes and just the little squigglies for the tattoos. I think it came out so cool. And this is the last top 3 fave in here. I really love how this turned out. Again, I was practicing with expressions and he at least looks like he has teeth. I love all the texture in the background and I think this is so nice. And then the last page, nothing too crazy. I was just putting down blobs of watercolor down. But now that I'm looking at it again, I can see things in it now. This looks like a person running. This looks like an upside down person, like the foot, the leg, the bum, the shoulders, and the head. This looks like a shoe, maybe a knee, they're kneeling down, maybe some hair. This looks like the top view of a sheep or a dog. So yeah, do you see any shapes that I'm missing? It's kind of cool looking back at it. But that concludes this sketchbook tour. Again, my plan is to share one every month, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to see my future sketchbook tours and other videos. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What was your favorite page or your favorite spread? And don't forget to like this video if you liked it. I hope to see you again soon. Bye!